Now, Dan from Attraction Faction is here now.
Hi, yeah.
Hello, how are you this morning?
I'm very well, actually. Yeah, very well this morning. So I was having a bit of a laugh during the break there.
We were saying we wanted...
It's not allowed, that, Dan.
I know,
No, it's not allowed.
Fun.
Stop
Sorry.
enjoying yourself.
Sorry.
Well, today we're
seriously.
talking body language.
We were.
Dating tips, body language. Is this not all a bit technical, or should we really be looking at body language?
Well, body language is going to be one of the most important things you can ever do on a date. It's literally something like 93% of our communication. So you can literally say to someone, yeah, I really like you. Or I really like you. Or you can say, I really like you. Now, you can see the difference just by the way you're moving there, let alone the eye contact and the rest of it. So there are about several thousand different things you can do, even kind of mirroring your body language. If I was to talk to you now, we're a lot more in rapport. And actually watching the way you're breathing, if I was to slow down, we're even more in rapport, so you'll even listen even more.
So you mimic the other person as well?
It's called matching and mirroring. You can either mirror someone or match them, and you can then lead them into something else. So I could start doing this, and we could be having a chat, and then I'd be nodding, and maybe then you'd start nodding, and we'd actually know subconsciously we're both talking about the same
I think
kind
you
of
were
thing.
taking the mickey out of me.
If I started too early. Maybe I was. Maybe that was flirting.
Oh, Dan, we start flirting.
I can't, it's my job.
He's outrageous. So what would be your top tips in terms of body language? Is sitting still important, do you think?
Going a lot more slowly than we're used to, I think, is one of the biggest things. Being slow is quite seductive. I think a lot of people, certainly when you get nervous, you start moving your hands a lot and talking very quickly. If you slow things down, then the person can appreciate really you a lot more. And you should give them the chance, really, so they can appreciate the way you act. One of the biggest things, obviously, you girls will know what you use in the way for flirting. Give me some of the classics. Well, yeah. I don't really know. Yeah, or the foot next to the thing.
Why
Well,
does that work?
I think it makes you feel a bit pathetic.
If you do it too much, yeah, like you're doing it now, like you're almost 7, then yeah, maybe that might be a bit much. But the problem with men, and I say this as a problem, men are fantastic. I'm one of them, but we don't have as many receptors for picking up body language as women do. Women are meant to have 22, men are meant to have 5. I don't know how they find this out. Tracy Cox found this all out. And so all the flirtation signals you think you give to men, a lot of men simply don't pick up. It's not the fact we're not interested, we just literally don't pick them up. We're not the brightest things in the world, exactly.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I got to say, that
was a joke.
You get horribly told off for that. We're not the brightest things when it comes to body language, and so this is why I'm teaching men at the moment to kind of really amp up what they do body language-wise, but also be really, really aware of it. Because a lot of men aren't aware socially what happens when they enter a bar or almost anywhere. They don't realise how much women are actually watching, subconsciously watching, without realising it.
But aren't you in danger of making men stand in a way or behave physically in a way that they wouldn't usually? And there's nothing worse than someone pretending to be something they're not.
False.
Very, very true. But also, don't we always learn and don't we always change? So what I'm trying to do is say, this would be better for you to do. If you stand like this and you're talking to someone, then that isn't particularly good body language. All I'm trying to say to everyone is, if you open your body language, you look a lot more receptive, a lot more friendly. And a lot of men don't realise, by standing there with a pint like this, a lot of women also, because I'm teaching girls now as well, a lot of girls don't realise what they're doing with their body language.
I think walks are very important.
Walks and approaches are arguably some of the... Yeah, the swagger. Well, I mean, did you girls ever practice, like, a sexy walk when you were younger?
Of course.
No.
Yeah, we had one liar and one person...
My granddad says I walk like a farmer's daughter.
Sorry, what's that supposed to mean?
Or was it a farmer?
I'm going to say, I don't think we should touch that with the body.
Come on, will you give us an example of a good swagger for a gentleman?
No, I won't. I'll do that in a couple of weeks when we can set it up properly. But it's all to do with being slowly, going things very, very slowly. Well, you know the kind of exaggerated hip movements of a sexy walk and the kind of saunter. Men don't realise that actually they should be a lot more slow and purposeful when they're walking towards someone. A lot of men do this classic where they walk and they look around and they'll stop and they'll have another drink and then they'll stop and they'll come again and da-da-da. The problem is, what they don't realise is, it makes them look very nervous to women.
Yeah.
And before you've even spoken to them, this girl's actually got an idea of what you're doing.
Look at Joe, floor manager Joe. What was that? Was that a swagger, Joe?
This is a Byron swagger.
which is actually quite good. Byron, can you see your proper version of it?
No.
Go on.
Go on, Byron.
Do it.
No.
Go on, Byron.
You see, when I walk into a room, I hear John Travolta and Saturday Night Fever comes into my head. So every single time, there's no problems with my swagger.
I
thought
you heard the YMCA by the way you walk.
Whatever makes you sleep at night, Nina. Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Well, this proves already that obviously people have to do different things for the different ways they walk into a room. Luckily, Byron's thought about how he walks into a room. Most men don't. So a lot of people don't even think, so they just don't even smile. They'll literally walk into a bar like this. Well, my mates, right, fair enough. Well, I'm looking for girls. But they don't realise that women have already seen them 1,000 times already, or they've literally had an opinion of them walking into this bar not looking good. So, you know, even if it is YMCA, you know, I mean, it's not, maybe not YMCA.
Get away from YMCA.
Yeah, sorry, Byron, sorry. Maybe if it is John Travolta, it's still perfect.
Confidence is attractive, though, isn't it? The
Confidence
way
is hugely attractive. And in the first 3 minutes, it's one of the things that all men should definitely try to push.
What are you doing now? What does that
You're
mean?
mirroring because you're
Does that mean we
friends.
fancy each other?
It's because you've got rapport, so you know each other. That's just rapport building, basically. So if I wanted to do the same thing,
How uncanny is
we'd all be
that?
talking. And guess what? Now we look like we're all mates talking together, and we're talking about something that we all know things about. If I did this...
You don't look very masculine doing it, though, Dan.
No, I know, and it's more YMCA, isn't it, really?
More Byron style. So generally it's important for men to look purposeful, isn't it?
I think so, yeah, definitely. I think it's one of the biggest things for women in attractiveness. Another thing is to, you know, you should be a lot more daring in what you're doing. So a lot of people think by touching people, because we're very British, aren't we here? Of course, we are British. So we're a bit reserved. So by touching people and by talking. But if you
It's
do it,
personal space, that.
but you do it straight away and you're fine. But if you do it after 3 minutes, then it becomes
That's very
obvious.
true. Then it
I hope
feels
so, I'm the expert.
weird.
It does, doesn't it? But men don't get this. So men will be like, da-da-da-da. Right, remember, must touch. Hello, my name is. And then you're just like...
We've got
"What, do you
Get
touch
off me.
Yeah, cold hands, warm heart. That's my girlfriend. Hi, Liam. So, I mean, this is it. You've got to do it straight away. You've got to be smiling straight away. You've got to approach confidently, and you've got to basically use touch. Conversation skills are great, but at the end of the day, we've got to use body language because that's one of the most important things.
Dan, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
We're enlightened
Let's hope
now.
it works on a certain colleague. Let's go to Michelle now.
I'm a bit worried about what my body language says when I'm around Byron Evans, but he doesn't seem to be around at the minute, thank God. So I will tell you a bit about the weather because slightly overcast out there, but we're going to have some highs of 20 degrees today. And the best news is it's going to be dry. Oh, was that cheesy?
Hi, this is Cheesy.